Hey there, everybody. It's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable podcast. It is Monday, July 29th. Well, a lot to talk about. Weekend review. And first of all, politics. Well, it's heating up. Kamala is really her popularity is going up and up. And she's got the Democratic Party excited again. And I can't wait. I can't wait for this race. Convention is happening in a couple weeks. Hopefully there'll be a debate. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's melting down. He actually told the truth for once. He said something like, well, first of all, he was at this event for Christians, and he said, I'm not a Christian. He slipped that in. I don't know whether the crap about that. We finally admitted. And but they and here's the deal. He was talking about just go out and vote for this one time. Go vote. Because after you vote this one time, you're not gonna have to vote anymore. I'm gonna fix it so that you don't have to vote anymore. Well, there you go. He's telling you what he's going to do. You have to listen to the guy because he's telling you that if he gets it again, he's going to turn the country into a monarchy. He's going to be king, King Donald I. And there won't be any election anymore. We don't have, he will proclaim who he wants as the next king, and so on and so forth. And if he dies, then the next in succession, Don Jr., and then Eric, and then we have a queen, Ivanka. She would keep passing. So, instead of the House of Tudor in England, it's going to be the House of Trump. He's telling you what he wants to do. You really want that? Well, and how about this JD Vance? I mean, you already talked about cat ladies, as against women, people without their families, what he does with couches, and now dolphins. And just a weird guy. And here's the thing. Do you really want this guy to be president? I mean, Donald Trump gets in before he gets to change the Constitution to make it like a monarchy. What if he does? Well, then naturally, the vice president becomes president. So there you go. And we're stuck with J.D. Vance as your president. A real weirdo. I don't think so. Luckily, it seems that people are younger people are getting involved. They're getting excited. African Americans hopefully are going to show up and vote in November, especially Black men. Get it together. Yeah. You've got to see what's going on here. Donald Trump is a racist. And he is not. Stop it. It's Donald Trump. I'm sick and tired of Donald Trump. Back in the day when I was growing up, we heard of Trump. We thought of buildings. We helped a lot with the skyscrapers and casinos down in the city. Those were cool until they went bankrupt. How do you own a casino where a casino always wins and lose money? I don't get that. He should have stayed in his lane. He should have stayed out of politics. If you remember, everybody, my friends, back in 2015, when he went down the escalator at Trump Tower and he announced that he was going to be president. Do you remember that? Do you remember him saying when he was behind in the polls, to the 16 other Republicans who were running for president that day. He made the comment, he says, I don't care if I really win or not. I'm just in it, just in it. He wanted the publicity. And then he got kind of power hungry, and the Republicans sort of gave it to him, saying, 16 of us can't beat you. So you can have the power, we'll kiss the ring. And so that's what happened. But always remember, he made that comment back then. People don't remember that being president wasn't that important to him. He didn't care if he really won, because if he lost, he could always go back to being a regular billionaire. So anyway, it's going to be interesting. We'll see what happens in another couple months, right? A lot of great things. The debate, I can't wait for them to accept the debate. I don't think that Kamala Harris should go on Fox, because the questions, the moderators are going to be pro-Trump. The questions are going to be pro-Trump. Who knows if Trump will even know the questions? I just, you know what? Honor the commitment with ABC. I'm not happy with ABC either. This Martha Raddatz, I always watch Sunday morning. I don't be good. And George Stephanopoulos is good. He's good. He's a good interviewer. But when they have these other people like Martha Raddatz, they stink. She doesn't know how to interview. She's terrible. So I'm not crazy about ABC anymore either. But they're better than Fox. And that's the way I look at it. Anyway, Phillies. You know, what can I say? The Phillies are just, I don't know. I don't know if they're full of themselves. I don't know if they're confident. They just stopped playing like they should. You know, I was at the game Saturday, and it seemed like they snapped out of their doldrums. They won 8-0. Tyler Phillips pitched the 9-inning shutout. Complete game, and it's great. They hit 4 home runs. It's great. But then they lay an egg yesterday. They're up 3-0, and they blow the lead. That since the All-Star break, that is the 4th time they have been up by 3 runs and have lost the game. I don't know. Is the killer instinct lacking anymore? I think what's happening is, yes, it's a little bit of natural regression. We're seeing the Phillies. They work like 2 games. Come on, few teams do. But so we're seeing the natural regression come back a little bit. But here's the thing: they are playing better teams. The Guardians are a good team. They're fundamentally sound. They play great defense, and they have the best bullpen in baseball. Get ahead, and the Guardians are tough to beat. So they are playing better teams. And by playing better teams, the better teams expose the Phillies' weaknesses. Just like the Phillies did when they were on a roll. And I said, the weaknesses in this team are still the bullpen. It's great that they got Estevez, who's coming on, the Angels closer, but I think they need another one or two. I really do. Trade deadline is tomorrow at 6. Dave Dombrowski still has some time to strengthen the team. I would say another weakness is the outfield. Forget center field. I think the whole outfield is weak. Nick Castellanos is too inconsistent. Brandon Marsh, I went to rate on Twitter. What is so good about Brandon Marsh? I know people love him. They love the fact he looks like a caveman. The young chicks really like him. But what does he do? Think about that. What does he do? He's not a great average hitter. He is not a great power hitter. He's got 10 home runs in one. He's average defensively. He has speed, but he always seems to screw up in the outfield. When he's in center field, he never takes charge. He almost got into another collision yesterday with Caston. He can't play center field because he's not assertive. He can't play right field because he doesn't have the arm to play. He's got a decent arm, but not big arm. Brandon Marsh is an average player. He is what he is. That's why he couldn't cut it, get in out. That's why the Angels traded him. Think about it. If he was so great and he was this great prospect at one time for the Angels, why did they trade him? So Brandon Marsh, to his credit, has gotten some big hits in big films. It really has. But we can't get all this crazy with Brandon Marsh. He's an average player. Yes. And if Dave Dombrowski could upgrade the outfield, we should do it. Whether that means getting the real center, whether that means getting power back in left field, do whatever it takes. Dave Dombrowski, you don't need 2 days because after the trade deadline, it's really much harder to bring anybody on because there's no waivers. It used to be before after the trade deadline, then you go till the end of August, and there would still be guys you could pick up the waiver. That's not what you do. Whatever team you have after July 30th, first, that's the team you're going to the playoffs. Unless there's an injury. So Dave Dombrowski better be pretty sure that he likes the team that's done. The outfield's too inconsistent. Let's not get all of a sudden about Boston. There's a reason why Paul, who is in first place, he's trading. Not only because of the number, but because Austin Hayes has slipped. He's not going to Austin, Do you think if Austin Hayes are still playing with high caliber he was last year, the Orioles will trade him? No, because they're going for the division, they're going for the series too, right? They're not just dumping all the players, dumping salary because they had a place. So there's nothing to upsetting Austin Hayes. He's not going to change. He's not a game changer. He's another average player. And basically, that's what the Phillies are doing. Average. So, if you get upgraded, why not do it, right? That's all. If we are stuck with what we have going into the playoffs, then fine. We make the best. Maybe you have to platoon a little bit. But if I was Dave Dombrowski, don't shut it down just because you got Austin Hayes and Carlos Esteves. Keep looking and keep being aggressive. And we want to make this team better. We want to put them in the cover. See, the goal is not to win the division, even though the Phillies are. That's why I got teams concerned. The Phillies are playing like crap, but they are 8 games ahead in the loss column over the Braves. 10 games over the Mets. They should win the division, even though they've been playing lousy since yesterday. They actually gained a game. So I'm not that worried about that. The goal should be win the World Series, not just get to the World Series, win the World Series. And so you have to think long-term range. Because people cried about the pitching prospects we traded to the Angels for Estevez. Stop it. Get over it. The prospects are just that, they're prospects. Maybe they look good in the lower minor leagues, but that's not saying what they're going to do with pitchers. That's a whole different thing. So sometimes you got to trade good things to get big things back, right? The Angels aren't going to give you their close. You have to give them something in return. So Dombrowski did not break up the core of the team. He did not trade one of our high prospects like Andrew Painter or Justin Crawford or Peter Miller. He traded 2 lower pitchers. And you got to close her out. So, I wouldn't be too concerned about that. I wouldn't lose sleep over George Clausen. So, Dave Dombrowski, you've got all day today. You've got most of the day tomorrow to make the Phillies better. As the Phillies are constituted right now, I don't know if they're going to make the World Series. Sometimes they play like they're overconfident. Sometimes they play like we don't care. They are rock stars. They're rock stars, but don't be so foolish. Okay, Phillies, you haven't won anything, not a damn thing. You won the National League pennant 2 years ago. Big whoop. It wasn't the World Championship. And you played like dogs last year, the last 2 home games against Arizona. So you haven't won anything, Phillies. You haven't. I believe in you, and I think you're going to get to the series, and I think you're going to win the World Series, depending on what play. But you haven't won anything to be overcome. Maybe this Phillies team just isn't good enough. I'm just saying. So that's why Dave Dombrowski has to go out there right now in the next 2 days and make the team as strong as it could be going into. And whether that means trading prospects, you do it. Because as we talked about before, the window is open. Bryce Harper is not going to be Bryce Harper forever. Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, Wuto, Jim Turner, they're all in their prime. They may not be playing like they're in their prime, but age-wise, they're in their prime. So you have to take advantage of it while you can. And let's face facts. The National League is not as strong as it could be. The Dodgers are having an okay year. They're like 6.5 up in the West. The Padres haven't coming on. They're okay. The Dodgers have racked with injuries too. We know the Braves aren't the things to be, mostly because of injuries. And there's really no one else, other than Milwaukee in the Central. Do the Brewers scare you? Not really. So the National League is there for the taking for the Phillies. They are still best team in baseball, but they're just not playing. That's my point. They're not playing good ball. And there's 2 months to go, so they might get hot again. I always like to bet on a team who's hot going to play. No matter what sport you talk, look at football. How many wild card teams make the Super Bowl? Even win the Super Bowl. So, it's the same thing in basketball, hockey. The team that is favored going into the playoffs very rarely wins the overall championship. The Celtics did in basketball, but that's pretty rare. So, Phillies need to get it together. Even they're playing, sometimes the old saying is you play like you're a reflection of your manager. I know Rob Thompson has done a great job. Sometimes he's a little too laid back. Look at Cleveland. They play small ball and they played it well. They bunted for hits. They sacrificed. They stole bases, hitting runs. They did whatever they needed to do to manufacture runs. The Phillies, all the runs they scored all weekend long were via home run. Phillies don't get home runs. They don't win the freaking game. Maybe Rob Thompson, maybe when you get by base, maybe it would be nice to put that man in motion. To steal a base, steal 2 bases, get him over. To say that the Phillies are lacking fundamentally is true. And that's been this way for how many years? All the way back to Pete Buchanan nonsense. The Phillies fundamentally just have not been fundamentally sound the last few years. And under Rob Thompson, they still are. Rob Thompson manages like an old American League manager before the DH. they used to talk about Earl Weaver of Baltimore, always waiting for a 3-run homer. That's the way he managed. He would never bunt, he would never hit and run, he would never steal. He would get guys on base and wait for Pound or Frank Robinson to hit a 3-run homer. That's the way he managed. That's the way Rob Thompson was. And maybe Rob Thompson, maybe you want to show a little passion, like I'm showing. You know, maybe you want to get pissed off. Maybe you want to get mad. I'm not saying go in and scream and yell and throw things, but maybe you want to show a little emotion, a little passion. I mean, we're not Joe Girardi, are we? Although Rob Thompson is a disciple of Joe Girardi. Never forget. Maybe these players need to see a little passion from you, Rob Thompson, and maybe that would inspire to show a little passion themselves. I actually like the fact that Bryce Harper slammed his bat down yesterday after he struck out against the guy who was a left-handed pitcher who was making his major league debut. I like that because Bryce Harper was showing a little emotion. And when they asked him after the game, Bryce Harper, what do we need to do? What do you need to do to get the Phillies back to winning series again? He said the superstars have to show up, which is true. Which is true. He's got to show up. Trey Turner's got to show up. William Wilton, I know he's been hurt, but he's got to show up. Castellanos, yes. Schwarber, to his credit, is showing up. He's getting hot again. And he is showing up. So, all I'm saying is that Rob Thompson, maybe you should show a little emotion too. Okay. Anyway, Phillies played the Yankees, started with 3-game series starting today. Phillies have lost their last 4 series, and not only that, they have lost an opening game in their last 4 series. It's so important to win that opening game. It sets the tone for the entire series. So let's see how they do tonight. Tough matchup. Zach Wheeler's pitching tonight. Here's your ace. He's at home, right? Against a good Yankee team. Shut them down. Win the game. After the Yankee series, I think the biggest road trip of the year. I was looking at this road trip before the season even started with the schedule came. They go to Seattle, which isn't going to be easy. I know Seattle's been scuffling recently. They're tied with Houston in the American League West. But Seattle is still a good team, and they're playing out west. The longest trip a team can make, all the way up to Seattle. Then they go down to LA and play the Dodgers. Yeah, Dodgers are out. That's tough enough, but the Dodgers are going to be wreaking revenge after being swept in Philly by the Phillies. You don't think the Dodgers are going to turn the table and sweep the Phillies in LA? Then they play 4 games in Arizona. We know Arizona's a pain in the butt. We know last year. It's always tough to play out Arizona, and they're playing 4 of them. So I felt it's not going to be easy, but Phillies need to step up. If the Phillies are a World Series contending team, if they're a championship team, they will friggin' step up during this homestand against the Yankees and during the road trip, because that's what good teams do. They step up against good competition and they play well. They don't lay down like dogs. Very well. Do so. All right, that's the end of it. Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you did. Hey, I'm going to tape another episode as soon as I post this. I have a classic TV show to talk about with you guys. I think you're going to love this one. It's back from the 60s, which are like my favorite shows. We've done a lot of 60 shows over the months. And so I think you're going to like this. So look for it soon. I'm going to post the link to this episode soon on X or Twitter, whatever. So I hope you watch and I hope you have fun. So everybody, in case I don't see you later, Take care, peace and love. Enjoy your day. See you soon. Bye. Go Phillies.